In this video, I'll be going over multiplying fractions word problems. We are going over 3 word problems with scenarios when we need to multiply fractions. For the first example, 3/4 of the students want to play basketball. Of these students, 1/5 are girls. What fraction of the students are girls who want to play basketball? So what we have here is a fraction of a fraction problem. And whenever we see the word of in the word problem, we use multiplication. So what we are looking at is 3/4 of students who want to play basketball. So visually, we can see 3/4 of the students who want to play basketball. Of these students, 1/5 are girls. So from the 3/4 section, we're gonna divide into 5 equal groups. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My drawings are not precise, but it gives you an idea of what we're talking about here. So what we want to know is from these 5 equal groups, 1/5 are girls. So here, the 1/5 are girls. And what we want to know is what fraction of all the students are girls who want to play basketball. Okay, so now at first we have 3/4 of a student, and we have 1/5 of a girl who wants to play basketball. So out of the 3/4, we are multiplying by 1/5 to find out what fraction this is. So this will be the setup that we're gonna use in this word problem. So 3/4 times by 1/5. So going back to the word problem, 3/4 times 1/5. And by multiplying across, we have 3 times 1 equals 3. And 4 times 5 equals 20. So our answer is 3/20 of the students who are girls and wants to play basketball. And for the second example, an apple pie requires 3/4 cups of sugar. If Emily wants to make 5 apple pies, how many cups of sugar will she need? So first what we're looking at is 3/4 cups of sugar. And that's equal to 1 apple pie. Now if we want to make 5 apple pies, that means we also need to have 5 times as much of sugar. So here is the setup. 3/4 times by 5. Now going back to the word problem, we have 3/4 times 5. And when we have a whole number multiplied by a fraction, we need to convert the whole number to a fraction. So 3/4 will multiply by 5/1. Anytime we are converting a whole number to a fraction, we simply add the denominator of 1 underneath, and it will remain the same value, but we change it to a fraction. So this way, we can simply multiply across. So 3 times 5 is 15. 4 times 1 is 4. And now what we have is an improper fraction, as the numerator is greater than the denominator. So now we want to see, out of the 15 that we have in the numerator, how many of equal groups of 4 we can divide that into. So if we take 15, divide by 4, it will give us 3, with a remainder of 3. So that means we have 3 whole, and the remainder of 3 would be in the numerator, and then 4 as the denominator. So that means we need 3 3/4 cups of sugar. Now for the third example, Joseph has 12 comic books. Of the 12 comic books, 1/4 are superhero comics. How many of his comic books are superhero comic books? So in this case, Joseph has 12 comic books. So what we have here are 12 comic books, and 1/4 of them are superhero comic books. So we have to multiply it by 1/4. So the setup is 12 times 1/4. And whenever we have a whole number that converting to a fraction, we add a 1 underneath the whole number, just like before. Then we're going to multiply by 1/4. And by looking at this, we can also see that we could simplify before we multiply, as the 12 and the 4 can both be divided by 4. So 4 divided by 4 would become 1. 12 divided by 4 would become 3. So now we just need to take the 3 times by 1 equals 3. And 1 times by 1 equals 1. So the answer is there are 3 superhero comic books. And if we look at this, if we mark them as 3 of them as superhero comic books, we can see that they are 1/4 of the 12 comic books. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that confirms it, as we have 4 equal groups of comic books are superhero comic books. So these 3 examples are how you would multiply fractions involving word problems. We also have a video on multiplying fraction by fraction, and this video is helpful for understanding how to multiply fractions. Hopefully this video is helpful to you, and thank you for watching.